Today's topic is a special request, and it's about the make one increase. On this swatch I've got 3 increases. There's one down here, and that is a straightforward make one increase, and it's just started a new column in between this one and this one, and we'll look at that increase in a minute. We've also got a make one with a twist, and this twist is leaning to the right, so there's the extra column of stitches. And we've got a make one leaning to the left, and there is the extra column of stitches. I really like the make one increase in certain circumstances, and all it is knitting below the bar that connects the stitch you just knit and the one that comes next on the needle. So there is the little bar, and all you need to do is to knit below the bar, pull up enough yarn to make a new stitch, and carry on. And this gives you an increase looking like this. It's a little bit like a yarn over, except we didn't allocate any extra yarn. And if you are working lace and you forgot a yarn over on the previous row or round, you can substitute a little make one. The hole won't be quite as large unless you share out some yarn from the 2 adjacent stitches. Make one with twist often hides better when you're working with larger scale projects. I use the make one without a twist to expand the rib at the top of socks. But to do a make one with a twist, either to the right or the left, all you have to do is lift up that bar gently. Remember, any extra slack you create in the bar comes from the neighbouring stitches, and primarily it comes from the one on the right, because this one still has the needle through it, so it can't really donate any yarn. So if you lift it onto the needle and place it from the back to the front and tuck your needle tip into it. So try and be really gentle here, because again, any extra tension or putting 2 needle widths in there is going to stretch this out and make the stitches on either side smaller. And that one has a twist and it slopes to the left, so I would call that a make one with a left twist. But it does close the hole and make it less visible. And you can see a make one with a left twist just here. Really hardly shows at all. If we want to make one with a right twist, we'll lift it up and place it on the needle, so it's sort of coming from the front to the back and going to the right. As we view it, it makes a diagonal line to the right. Then again, keeping everything up close to the needle tips and on the tapers, we can work into that so it twists to the right. And there are our right and left twists. It's also perfectly possible to make these on the purl row as well. So if we lift it onto the needle, and that is sloping to the left, and purl into it so it forms a complete twist. There's the little twist. Very gently purl into that. And so it was a left twist showing on this side, but because we're looking at the other side of it, when we come to this side, it's also a left twist. So the rule of thumb is to put the piece of yarn between the stitches on the needle. That one's sloping left. If I turn it round, it's sloping right. And so all I have to do is tuck my needle in here, purl, complete the twist, and the twist on the back is pointing to the right. The twist on the front is also pointing to the right. because we're looking at the other side of the twisted piece of yarn. So if we look at this in picture format, we've just knit this stitch and the stitch above it is sitting on our needle. There is the piece of yarn that is between the two stitches. Be careful not to pull on it, because the only place it can borrow the yarn from is its neighbours. If we want it to slope to the right, we have to twist this piece of yarn so that the right leg crosses in front. If we want it to twist to the left, we have to twist it around in the other direction so that the front slopes to the left. Make one increases are really cool and have lots of practical uses.